Hello, I am live. Today, I'm going to be applying the... Oh, wait, I need to make sure it's recording like this. Okay, hang on. Let me just get this shareable link and open my own chat so I can see it. Right here, okay. And then I'm gonna make sure that OBS is... Yeah, there we go. OBS isn't capturing this. I need to zoom out here a little bit. Might be like this. Move this slightly towards here. Drag this a bit out. Oh, that's too far. Hang on. This a bit out here. How do I get this to... Oh, that works, kind of. Make it like this, though. Is this recording? It does, okay. Just adjust this. It's just such an awkward stream. I haven't set everything up. How do I make this? Okay, there we go, that should work. Alright, today we are going to be applying the principles of drawing we have learned. So those are... Oh wait, let me record. Wait, is this even... Okay, alright. Today we're going to be applying the principles of using shapes to basically outline the thing you're trying to draw, to basically split it into more simple shapes, and using that to make the thing you're drawing easier to draw. And utilizing perspective like that, I'm going to be attempting to combine them all to draw this right here. So this is like a coffee cup mug. It's the thing you use where you basically on the milk and then pour it to make the latte art. I'm going to try to draw that. So I think the first thing I need to do is create perspective. So I'm going to, if I remember correctly, what I have to do is to draw a line. So I'm going to draw using this thing right here. Draw a straight line. It's kind of flippy. I'm going to try it over here. Draw a straight line like this. Then I'm going to, on this line, make a dot that's going to be my vanishing point. So let's say right here. And then I have to try, I think if I were to draw this, I would have to do the basic outline of it first. So splitting it up into like more obvious shapes. What I see here is like a bottom that's sort of like this curved shape. So I'm going to try drawing that first. Then I see it kind of, what do I do here? Turns inwards like this. And up here it does the same, although half of it is covered by the actual shape of the, what's it called? The handle. So I'm gonna only do a tiny bit like that because that bit under there is covered. And there's a further bit up here that's covered as well. And then I'm going to be, what do I do here? I think I have to draw the point where it goes to the vanishing point. So I have to sketch this here and this here. And then I have to draw the curvature of that cup on there. So there's kind of like a shape up here the cup is in. So it's kind of like this. And it's sort of up here rather. Turns into like this beak like that. It curves around a little bit here. Then it forms, kind of curves back and does that. And then this is a bit weird. How do I make this vanishing point? So it sort of curves around like this, but if the vanishing point is here, then I'm not sure if I'm actually even meant to draw that. Oh no, I am meant to draw that because that's not the highest point of the vanishing point. If it was really like this, no, that's right. The vanishing point shouldn't be there. The vanishing point should be here, right here. So that's what it would look like. So that's the basic outline of the cup. Now I'm going to try and draw a separate bit of the handle, so I know on the cup it sort of curves up like this, then around. It sort of curves, but it's not as close as that, so it's more like over here. Just splitting the object into basic shapes, so it's over here. Then it sort of goes like that. And then it sort of comes down. And then a tiny bit down onto here. Before it sort of curves downwards like this. Well, that part should be further down like this, actually. So hang on. Go down like this a lot, and then it would curve further down like this. And that's there. And then this would kind of be linked up like that. And then it would be like that. Except that handle is a bit long. So this one actually curves down on this angle. So it first curves almost around like here before going down like that. Then going in like that. And then I'm going to do the same the other side as well. So I'm going to try and make so this goes down to there and then that goes there. But that doesn't look right. That's wrong in some way. So I think I messed up at the top part. So it goes like here. You can see it sort of curves inwards. Oh, so it curves outwards like this. And then it curves downwards, but it curves very, very softly downwards. So like this kind of. And then it curves inwards. And then this other part does the same thing, but when that goes downwards, it's like this. And then that goes inside a bit thicker here. So it goes like this. And that goes inside here, and then that goes like that, and that goes like that. so you can sort of see the thing here. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make this look a bit more 3D. So how can I do that? Why does this look 3D here? I think it's because... Is it because of the shading? Oh, let's remove that. Oh, so one thing actually is that these parts are connected, so I can connect those like that. There's definitely like a shadow that goes from this side, and I think it's because it's a little reflective is the reason it looks so 3D in the real world as well. But so you can see a tiny bit like of the shadow that goes up like that, reflected, sorry, that goes up like this. And then you have to shade in this part. This part is sort of shaded. Except it goes straight down. It's kind of like this. As opposed to being, yeah, like that. And then have the inner layer. So I think the next part I just have to apply is the shading. So on the inner layer, there's like a bit of light here, but the shading, if I imagine the light's just coming from this direction, it should theoretically be really dark over here, and it should get lighter and lighter as it sort of goes out. Outside like this. Yeah, okay, that's starting to look 3D, okay. And then the inside, because the light source is coming from, it's actually not over here, it's actually more over here. So I'm gonna rub this out. The light source is coming from over there, so there's actually like a bit of light inside here that's kind of shaped like this. That's really like light and bright. And then it's sort of like light around here, kind of. And it's sort of light around here as well. Then there's like a bit of darkness, then it gets sort of light here. Then there's a bit of darkness around here, and it gets lighter as it goes into here. Then it gets a tiny bit darker as it curls around like that. And there's like a really obvious sort of line here that sort of makes it darker really at the bottom. So this part is still lighter than before, but it's still sort of dark. It's darker than the thing. And it's like that. That looks kind of okay in 3D. Oh, it's because the line doesn't go like that. It goes inside of here, so it goes more like that. So I have to remember this initial part is light, it gets dark, then it gets light, it's light, and then it gets darker. So this line goes here, it gets darker around here, it gets lighter a little bit around here. Kind of made those lines a bit too dark, pressed a bit too hard there. Here, it gets darker slowly over here, and then it's kind of light, sorry, it's kind of light over here. It's like this sort of layer that goes around like this, that's kind of light, and then it gets darker towards the end like that. It's also dark around here. And then this part at the bottom is all like dark, and then light here, and then like dark here. That you can't really tell that that's a 3D thing. I think I have to add the fact that it is very dark at this stage specifically, and this sort of goes down like that, so that's very dark, and that part is pretty dark as well, like that. And then this middle part is relatively light, and it sort of curls outwards like that. And then I can add the cross hatching as well. I can sort of try to make it that to add the rest of the shading in like that. Happens at around this point. So this part is kind of darker still, and then this part is pretty light. Add the shading here, and then shading here. And then that line shouldn't be darker than the lines itself. So, oh, I've ruined it now. That line should be around here, and then once again it's light around here, then dark around here, then light around here. Like that. That is hard to tell. That's not like 3D. That looks really weird, but it looks kind of 3D, I guess, a little bit. In terms of the shading on the actual cup itself, then. So obviously this part is lighter, and then it gets darker as you sort of go through on the handle like that. This part is not spiky. This part should be like this. I think actually what the shading should look like, it shouldn't look like this. I think that's what I've been trying to do with the different sort of things inside the circle, like the shading, is I've just been trying to add the actual reflection. And if I were to just add the shading, I think it would just be like this. So it would be dark around here, relatively dark around here, and then it would be lighter at around here. Except it would need to be more, the line would need to be like more this direction. Dark. And then all that would sort of be lighter. It still doesn't look that 3D. I don't know why. I know this part specifically is a lot lighter than the other part actually, so it sort of goes dark and then it gets even lighter here, like that. So this part is relatively dark and then this part gets a bit lighter, and it gets even more lighter as it curls around like that. You can kind of see that. Yeah, that's kind of starting to look a bit 3D. It's very hard to do because with cross-hatching, I think the lines aren't as obvious, but you can kind of tell that that's kind of like where the cup goes inwards. Maybe I press really lightly with the rubber here to rub out some marks there. And then, how would I add the finer details? I guess I can shade this part of the cup as well. So specifically, around here, there are two lines that are sort of blackish, so that's there. And then oh, so that doesn't actually curl up like that. So this goes like this, and it goes kind of outward like that before it goes up. So it does that first, then it goes up like that. And then this inner layer right here is pretty dark. And I think the same applies to the top. It doesn't go outwards like this. It goes like this, and it curls in that direction. So it curls upwards in this direction first. Then it goes a little bit down. Oh, so it would have to curl upwards a lot actually. No, it goes upwards like this, curls upwards like that, and then goes like that. So this, this, and like this. It's that, so this would just be right here. And specifically where this point is. It's pretty dark, so here and here. That looks worse. I somehow ruined that. Oh no. How did I mess that up? I think the bottom is correct. I think I messed up the top somehow. So this goes up here. These parts initially curl outwards like this. Let's rub out this part in the middle. Oh, I see. This part doesn't actually curl out. This part just does this. And then one of the parts simply connects like that, and then the other part connects like that. And then the part that lines from there to there, and then it folds in just like that, and then this it's kind of in just like that, and then that part is shaded. Oh, yeah, that's starting to look a bit 3D. Okay, and then oh, but that looks wrong because that looks like, no, yeah, that shading is wrong somehow because that looks like, oh wait, I wrote this out. How did I do that? Oh no. This goes outwards. This part goes downwards and then connects to like that. So this is the inwards part of the shading, and that's how that looks. So that connects to there, then that connects to that like that. So the shading would need to be just below here. It would actually be going sort of flat like this, I think. And then that's sort of flat as well. Oh, like this. And then this is sort of flat like this. Yeah, I think there we go. And then that part is shaded in like that. And so that sort of creates the handle, although that those proportions are really off. So to make that better, I would have to do like this and like that. Maybe make this all a bit shorter, so this would go here, and this would go here, and it would like that, and then what was it again? This point's like here, and then this point. Sort of that was a bit, it's like that. What I was shaded, but this it's like that, then it oh, it connects like this. That's right. So this part. Wait, I'm having difficulty again. Okay, hang on. I don't want to mess this up. That goes there and there. Yeah, the point where it reaches up like this and there, so it would be like that. That would be the shading. That looks a bit awkward because the handle is so tiny, but I think that's the general idea behind how it should look. And then this would be like that. how do I make the handle a bit bigger? How do I make it like its actual size? Oh, I would have to. So I'd have to make this part and this part. This would go up more like that, and this. They get really big, so it's obvious for me, but this would be like that, and then this would go out a bit, then fall downwards. And then it would connect out like that. So, but it would only go out a little bit. It would only go out like maybe this much. And then it would connect. It would connect outwards only slightly as well, so it would only go like that. This connect outwards like that. And then the actual parts would be somewhere around here and somewhere around here. Except that wouldn't go all the way there, that would just go to this part, and this part would be still like that. So that part would be shaped in. No, wait, is that right? I don't think that's right. This part would be like there, and then this upper part would be no, that's not right. This would, yeah, it would just be like here actually. That's where it would be. It would be like that. And there's actually a shadow that kind of goes there as well. Yeah, that's not okay. Yeah, so this is the shadow that goes here, and then the handle you hold there, and then that upper body, that lower part I've messed up somehow. How does that lower part actually work? Let's try fixing that. Okay, this is going to be the final thing we do. So that lower part, first there's a curl there, then it connects like that. And that's the same for that. It sort of curls downwards. That goes there. And then curls inwards like that. So that goes downwards, and that sort of is a straight line as well, and that's sort of a straight line as well, like this. And then this part is shifted in. Oh yeah, that's starting to look okay. Yeah, I think that's how it is. And then to make this sort of separate the inner and outer parts, so in the actual cup, there's actually two like lines. There's like one here and one here where they separate the in and out. I think that's how it looks so obvious. I didn't really add that, so mine looks a bit weird. But that looks kind of okay. It still looks worse. I feel like it looks worse than what I drew before. So I don't really know if I'm making any progress. But yeah, that's the cup. And I'm especially concerned about how to make the top look like it's actually inwards. So it looks like it actually, I think the shading needs to be done better. So that shading at the bottom is just like that, but there's sort of like a line that goes here and here, where the shading is a bit lighter. And the shading at the bottom is always a bit darker like this. But then the shading at the top is kind of like that, and the shading on the side is kind of like that. There's also a line here where the shading is lighter as well. And the shading is darker in this line at around here. That kind that's essentially how you do it. Let's say I wanted to add something to it. I don't know, like some this like that, this like that, this like that. So trace everything in. If I wanted to add like a, I don't know, what else is usually here? Like, let's say a box. Boxes of like. Oh no, I did do this wrong. So if I wanted to add a box, like a boxes of like a coffee or something, I would have to do this, this. Wait, how would I do this again? Let me check. No. I have to do a square, man. Oh, okay. So I have to do like this. And then this goes. Wait, what is that? What you said? No. Square that affects that. So let's say I wanted to add something here. I could add a box like this. And then the line could come out here. And it goes like that. And then I can add a line up here. Then it goes to there. Oh, that's monkey. But it should go to like here. No, it should go like here maybe. How do you do a box to a vanishing point? Let me just see this. So you do this. Oh, so there's actually two vanishing points. There's this vanishing point right here, and then there's top vanishing point like that. Now I wanted to make it to the top vanishing point, I would have to do it from up here, and then the box be like here, and then so I could add the side of the box like that. No, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. What did I do here? So I wanted to make the box like that. This would have to connect to here, so like that. And then this would be one part of the box, so it would actually have to go down like that and be able to go all the way there. And then another part of the box would just be like here, going like this, like that, and that would be the box. Okay, and then let's say this is a coffee box, so I'd write coffee on here. Okay, that's really bad. That looks so bad. I want to make this neater. And let's have a picture of like a mug in this coffee box. Okay, cool. So that coffee box is therefore further away in the distance. And then if I want to add shading to that, because the light source is down here, I don't even know how I would add shading to that. I'm guessing it would be at the top, maybe here would be like that. And slowly getting outwards like that. And then down here would be more darker and slowly going outwards like that. I'm guessing maybe. I think that looks kind of right. So that's like a copy box. And if I rub out the, what are these called? Practice lines? Aiding lines? I'm going to call them aiding lines. If I rub out the aiding lines, then we can see the copy box. Oh crap, what did I do? No, what crap, what did I do? No, this isn't right. Oh yeah, so it goes like this, and then, no, that's not right. What the fuck? What did I do? Hang on. This goes all the way down here, and then into here. So this string will be here. Wait, so the vanishing point is here. So it would be here, and then here. But that's not, is that the point I had before? That is the point I had before. It's just, oh, no, it's, I had the vanishing point, that's right. It was based on the, I keep forgetting my rubbers on the pack, that's the pacer. It was based on this right here, so what I actually need to do is connect like this. And there we go, that's the coffee. And then I'll just rub this out. So make it connect all the way to here again. But then how would I make it? How would I do in this house so this makes it look like the profile I want to? Oh, that's right. I didn't rub out where it's actually connected. I just rub out where it's not connected. So I have to do this, then this. There we go. That's perfect. That looks like. So that's the copy box. And then at the top, it's sort of like this connects to there. So it would connect to like there, and then rub out this part here, then this part here. So it just looks like this. Then wait, is that right? That should be. I rubbed out the top part of this. So what was this like again? Light and then dark and light again, kind of like that. So, okay. This would be up here. And then this would go all the way up to there. Like that. There we go. That's the coffee box behind the mug. And then, okay, that's cool. So we've added like a little coffee, what do you call these things? Coffee cup? Coffee maker cup? I'm gonna call it a coffee maker cup. We added a coffee maker cup and we added a coffee box right there. We've added perspective to this drawing, we've added shading, we've traced out the lines to make sure, or to split the item into subcategories so that we have sort of done objects and then the shape. And what was the other thing we applied? Oh yeah, we drew something, we based it on what was in the environment right here. So perfect. I'm gonna be saving this. This is my very first creation, very first proper creation. It doesn't look the best, especially this top part right here. I don't know how to do the shading to make it look like it's actually coming inside, but I'd say it looks okay as well. It doesn't look horrible. Alright, thank you all for watching. I have one concurrent viewer, which is me, so I'm still living this pretty sad, lonely life right now, but that's okay because one day I'll be big, hopefully. So yeah, thank you for watching and goodbye.